There's some awesome stuff coming, but let's kick it off. What you guys are most excited for this season? There's an interesting arc this season that we're kicking off with. So what are you guys most excited for? Anybody can answer, to be honest.
Sure.
More Mirko.
Yeah.
More Mirko. Yeah. Hell yeah.
It seems like we're gonna get to meet the students of 1B this
Yes.
well, not meet
yes.
them, but we get to
meet
see them a
them.
little more in action. Yeah. And I'm just a sucker for any of like the superpower quirks. I just think they're all so cool and weird and fascinating. So more superpowers is always a good thing, in my opinion. And it looks like we're getting more of that.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Clifford?
Man, maybe this is a lame answer, but I'm just excited to see the winter outfit that Bakugo has. All the other heroes have had redesigns to their costumes, and all the other kids have had some sort of innovation. I think the only one who maybe hasn't is maybe Uraraka, but like all of them had little tweaks and changes to their costumes, and Bakugo it seemed like he just always settled on perfect in the beginning. So I'm eager to see him do something new, to see how the new costume works and what it brings to the table, and I don't know, maybe that's a lame thing to be excited about, but I'm just like, he's got a new design.
Listen, I'm pretty sure a Bakugo fan out there is pretty excited about that too. I'm pretty sure. He said, like you say, he's had the same costume since day one, minor tweaks, well, little to no tweaks to it at all. So, everybody's got their upgrades except Bakugo. So I think that's something to look forward to. But I'm going to go to Anairis a little bit since we are talking about Mirko. She is one of the fan favorites of My Hero Academia. Obviously, we saw her anime debut towards the end of last season. And this time around, how does it feel bringing this character to life with, I feel, there's big rabbit shoes, big feet to fill here, I guess.
Oh yeah. Big bunny shoes, but it's cool. It's really cool. I remember when everybody was really talking about her, especially on social media, around this time last year. And at the time, I was just watching the anime, so I didn't know anything about her. Then I look into her a little bit. I'm like, oh, she's cool, So getting to see her in action, starting with season 4, and now getting to see actually her in action, season 5. That's been really cool. I'm looking forward to portraying that. Looking forward to seeing her kick some butt.
Nice. So in terms of prepping for the character, did you also do some manga research afterwards, or just went off whatever they provided in the booth so you can record your lines, or what did you do?
I am the type of actor where I like to do some prep work. So I did read ahead read ahead where it's like I checked what chapters Mirko would show up. And I was like, okay, cool. This is where she goes. Let me keep that in mind, sort of. And I did a bit of a character study on her, making sure I understand her as a character, figuring out, the different aspects of her, because I don't think she's just tough. I think she's a lot of other things as well that we'll get to see later.
Yeah, definitely.
And I made sure to do my research, made sure that I could perform. So
awesome. I think people will be excited for sure. So back to you, switching to you, Justin. So Deku is going through an interesting arc this season. We got a glimpse of that literally at the end of season 4, with that little dream and seeing some of the vestiges and stuff. So we get a little bit of that. They expand on it a little bit this season. Not too much in this first half, this arc, but to what extent do you feel that revelation and that encounter that happens there, I won't spoil it for the anime only watchers, how do you feel that changes him for better or for worse in his path and becoming the greatest hero?
I think it's extremely important. At first I think in Deku's mind, inheriting this quirk from All Might is sort of is passing the torch on from one to another, and now you see that there's this sort of lineage, and that the quirk has been passed on and evolved. So I think now we're realizing that this core conflict between the original One for All and All for One, who's terrorizing the superhero world now, is so crucial to the character of Deku and All Might as the previous symbol of peace. I'm really excited to figure out what exactly is going on, because I've got no clue.
Well, I mean, there's some stuff that happens. I'm pretty sure they haven't given you all the spoilers, but I read ahead a little bit, and there's some cool stuff that's coming. I'm excited for people to see it, and I want to see it animated already. So going to you, Clifford, Bakugo is a character who's gone through so much development since season one. You know, the first time we spoke about this, you know, I was coming in freshly new of, you know, My Hero Academia. So my grasp on Bakugo wasn't the same as I have now that I started read the manga, watched it, but he's gone through a lot of character development throughout season. And, you know, with this arc, a lot of that changed, that character development was not animated yet, is really highlighted. How do you feel all those events from the past have really helped shape Bakugo to become who he's become now at this point?
Oh man, they all play into it. I mean, we see in the last season, Bakugo wasn't in as much of it, but for the few moments that he was, when he's working with like the little kids, you know, he's trying to impart the lessons that he has learned over the course of the season onto these kids, so that they don't grow up making the same mistakes that he has. You know, to become the same person that he had been, someone who looks down on others, and you know, now he's been humbled over the course of the season. You know, he learned that there are other kids who are just as good, if not better than him, and he's got to really step up. He can't just slide by on what he's always done and known, because it's not enough anymore. And all of those things are always moving the character forward, and I'm really excited to see how that comes around in this new season, especially when we're going to be facing off against the class of 1B. Because back in season 2, the 1B kids were giving Bakugo a little bit of pressure, you know, in the sports festival. Monoma was a bigger challenge than maybe Bakugo would have anticipated. You know, and so now to see Bakugo going in against those kids that he's faced once before, who are probably all better, just like the class 1A kids are better. But now Bakugo has a changed perspective, or at least an evolved perspective. I'm very eager to see how his character plays in that scenery.
Nice. So in terms of relationship, you know, Justin, you can also chime in on this question as well, since you guys play these lead characters in Class 1A. The relationship between Deku and Bakugo has also, throughout the course of the entire show and the manga, has really changed. They've grown a sense of admiration, despite the little friendly rivalry of wanting to one-up each other, become the number one hero, respectively, in their own way. What do you guys feel personally that they each admire about each other, and what do they take from each other to push themselves forward and keep that little rivalry kind of going?
I think in Deku's mind, when he sees Bakugo, he is motivated by his pursuit of greatness. You know, Bakugo will accept nothing less than number one, or the prime spot, and that's something that I don't know that Deku had before going in. He's struggled with his own self-worth and value for so long that now seeing people strive for greatness in the same circumstances, I think is a very compelling motivation. And there's a lot of that that the rivalry between these two characters brings to, I think, lift both of them up in that way.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, you know, we see it a lot in the end of season 3, and then again in Heroes Rising. There's a lot of push from Bakugo to saying to Deku, like, you make this quirk your own, and then we're going to fight for real. We're going to see what this is for real, you know, because Bakugo always kind of excels in those moments. We always see him striving, and when he wins something, but he knows that he didn't get the best from his opponent, he hates that victory, because it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel truly earned. And so I think from Bakugo, knowing now that Deku has this incredible power, but he can't even fully utilize it, Bakugo wants him to excel and succeed and become what he is, because Bakugo knows that if Deku achieves the true pinnacle power that he now possesses, that will prove whether or not Bakugo is really the best or not when he faces off against that. And so there becomes this mutual respect of, like, you got to get better, because it's the only way that I'm ever going to know if I'm as good as I think I am, or as good as I want to be. And that goes both ways between both of the characters. As every time Bakugo steps up, Deku has to step up, and vice versa.
Yeah. Also, I love how much you guys understand your characters, all of you guys. It's truly amazing because you guys can see it when you guys play it out in the anime. But I'm gonna go back to Anairis a little bit because we get a little glimpse of her in episode 2 of this season. She gets in a little confrontation with Davi. So this little question is fun, but it might trigger some of the fans. Who do you think will win in the hand-to-hand battle between Davi and Mirko?
Me personally,
You,
I mean, knowing what I know of Mirko, she's tough.
she
And
is.
she will go hard no matter what. So I gotta root for Mirko. Maybe it's biased, but also kind of informed.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure it is, but I
gotta
had to
root
ask
for
it anyway, just for the people who don't read the manga. So they might
like
that might
I
be a
won't go
question.
into it, but
Definitely.
she is different.
She's different, definitely.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I guess for the final, well, I got a couple more questions. So in terms of character development for everyone, outside of your own characters, who is your favorite character and why?
Man, I'll give you the top 5. So my favorite character, number 1 is obviously Bakugo. I mean, I can't not have Bakugo as the number 1. But number 2 is probably Katsuki. And then number 3 would be Kachan. 4 would be King Explosion Murder, and 5 is Lord Explosion Murder, and that's my top 5. So
That's great. That's absolutely great. How about you, Justin?
Oh gosh, there's so many to love. And I feel like my opinion on this changes probably every day. But I'm really fond of All Might and Aizawa. I think the instructors have so much to bring, and they're so wacky and ridiculous. I think they have a great dynamic together too. So I just I like the pro heroes we've got.
Nice. So how about you, Anairis? Tell me. Mirko.
You know
Right?
what? I love her, but like my favorite personally is Deku. I love his story. I love his character.
Yeah.
I love character development. I think he grows, and I like seeing him go from the underdog to becoming the greatest hero. That's such a cool story, and maybe it's just the lame answer, but I love him.
Nah, I'm pretty sure many will agree. So as a final answer, it's another fun one. Obviously, there's more geared towards Clifford and Anairis. Would Bakugo make a good sidekick for Mirko? How would that dynamic play out?
That'd be so extra.
Ooh.
They'd be so extra together.
Right?
Like the collateral damage, I think, would be insane.
That would be a very dangerous combination. I feel like Mirko's so strong and Bakugo's so strong that I just feel like, man, there wouldn't even be any villains left. It'd just be reported like Mirko, professional hero Mirko picks up Bakugo as sidekick, and all of the villains just retire. They all just turn themselves in.
That's great. But that's all I got for you guys today. I know we were short on time. Wish it was longer, but it was a great chat. I'm looking forward to the rest of season 5 of My Hero Academia. I'm pretty sure our listeners will be doing the same. Hope I get to speak to you guys in the near future. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Good to talk to you again.